Not sure if we'll be seeing an Iron Man.
Ooh, Iron Man is available for the taking. That is true. That could be actually exciting to see. But at the moment, we might see something else come online. We might see that Penny and Rocket team up. Oh, we love the armored nests. We love so much about it. But what we love more than that is the beautiful map of Krakoa. Look at these amazing designs. Right, see, look at the statues carved from wood, carved from Krakoa itself. Emma Frost is there, doing her up, looking glamorous, and soon to be somebody else who we're yet to find out more about. Interesting to see the beautiful designs, the beautiful tree, the control points there, the domination mode is riding up, the trees are ready, the pets are there too, and the amethyst caves as well. It is a beautiful, beautiful map, and I can't wait to get into the action as these players are going to tear this map apart in their gameplay today.
It is a gorgeous, gorgeous map. I completely agree. It's one of my favorite maps since it has got released not that long ago. So I love that it got released, and I love playing on it so much. Well, you mentioned we might be getting a Penny and Rocket, but it looks like they've changed their mind last minute. No Penny Rocket combination. I would love to have seen it though, but yeah, unfortunately not. Instead, we have a Groot and Doctor Strange along with Magneto.
Now, on this side, we're going to see a bit of a build-up of the high ground for Gap starting it off right now, as Vicious are already going to set themselves up on point. We do see they've got the rib in the skies, the Torch is feeling confident, but Moki's there just to try and answer that high ground presence. And we see Lumi as well setting the stage as they do the Vanguard in the front line, pushing forward, sending up walls, and hopefully setting up a fight, starting off with the first KO of the night against Doctor Strange. There it is.
Doctor Strange falls, and so does the other Vanguard as well. Both Vanguards are down, which the Vicious, who already are in control of the point, already at 15%, are going to get even more and stay in control. This is a really good start for the Vicious, and they are definitely showing their strength and experience that they have from all the tournaments they've been playing in.
And now that is exactly what you want to see. Revsy on the high ground, on the X-Tron, looking confident, feeling confident, pushing forward as Adam follows suit as well, just like we saw last night. The pressure is there. They're taking the flank with Rib on the sidelines, going to go for that backline, taking out Quarry. There it is, Cloak and Dagger falls, and then a Fire Slam goes through. That's Adam pushing forward, taking out Mimi as well. Punisher's picked up. We see Asher moving in right now, sending claps. There's one, that's Moki, that's Obscure, picked up by Lumi. Asher with a double onto Gak, there it is, and that sends Gak back into spawn right there. You love to see it.
You definitely do love to see it, and what else you love to see is all those ultimates being built up. If you look at the Vicious ultimate charge, nearly all 6 ultimates are available, Asher being the furthest one away at 90%. On the other hand, Gap's Gacked, that was hard to say, only sitting at 58%. Here comes Storm's ultimate.
Ooh, the Omega Hurricane sends off and starts up the fight. The question is, who's it going to catch him? But Rib's on the backline, going straight for the Punisher. There it is, a sneaky hit on Mimi right there. The boundary goes up, but it's just not enough to reach the Punisher as Gak is in the front line, throwing lightning, throwing bars, throwing hammers, throwing as much power as they can forward, but he's absolutely shut down and locked out into the strangling prison by the Groot. There it is, Lumi, as we see, pressuring on, but VC Rib sets the stage. Supernova goes off. Moki's on the sidelines. Will it be enough? Revsy trying to take high ground again, as we see Luna Snow dancing for the stars with the fate of both worlds. And another Executioner is on the rise as Punisher starts up the rounding up, and is it going to be enough to go for it as a video drops down and takes out Mimi at the same time.
Well, Gabs had control of the point, but just a little bit, flipping it to 25%. The Vicious win that team fight with a lot of ults actually being used. Gact finally has their ultimate available for this next fight, but 92% and counting. The Gacts have to try and touch it. They will be touching with a portal. Out comes Doctor Strange and the team.
Ooh, and there it is right now as we wind up into the next fight. As Adam takes out Gak, the portals are there. The overtime's ticking over, 99% in favor of the Vicious. All it takes is one more fight to win. Asher's taking out Quarry. There goes the Cloak and Dagger representation, and then a double KO again from Asher. Just consistent on the Lunar Snow, hitting one clap twice and another ice, and it's very nice as they capture Krakoa. That's right, taking a first round for them on the carousel.
Very well played by the Vicious. They did lose the point there for a little bit, but the point flipped in the middle of a fight. So I can't even say that the Vicious lost a fight, or just, they lost control of the point for a little bit, but they didn't really lose control of the game at any point during that round.
Call it a tactical retreat. That's the best way to explain it. It was a wise decision from them to take that opportunity, knowing they could actually burn some of Gap's ultimates there. Give them the opening to take it back very soon next fight. You can give a little, but as long as you take more back, that's exactly what you want to do when you're playing domination, especially on Krakoa. But right now, we're going into one of the maps where things are going to get a bit tricky. It's a bit more of an open area. You might be playing more for range, which is very good to see. However, speaking of range, take that out of the equation. We've got Mimi on the Iron Fist. This might be our first Iron Fist in Marvel Rivals Ignite this week in the OC region. This is getting exciting. I would love to see this going off.
Yeah, definitely love to see this Iron Fist. I'm very excited to see how it works with the rest of the team composition. We also see Rocket coming out, but no Penny. I know we've all been talking about Penny and Rocket's team up. I don't know if it's my personal bias coming through because I love the team up, but still not seeing that. But Rocket is out to play. Thor has their ultimate as well as Invisible Woman.
Ooh, and that Rocket Network team up would be exciting to see. But for now, we see the Iron Fist going bang for bang, straight onto Mimi. Oh my, Mimi in the backline going for Asher. Asher was cleaning house last round. Mimi's like, nah, I'm going to answer that question right there. Boundaries dropping out from Alice right there, keeping the team sustained, keeping them good. Alice taking out Gak in the front lines. Rib on the skies, taking out Moki. You think Punisher counters torch? Not in this world right now. As Rib's feeling confident, feeling hot, and going forward with another massive amplifier. Starting up from Corey just to make sure they get that pressure, that power they need to win this. Supernova goes into the skies, and a Moki into the skies, and then we see Punisher shredding once, twice, and there's Revsy and Adam falling to the Judge during Executioner into a triple KO for Moki out here throwing it up. Mimi on the sidelines still not having a fun time, but gets caught out by Asher as we wind it down and see them capture the point at a 10% lead.
Absolutely amazing gameplay coming out from Gapt. I don't know if you saw it in the feed on the top right, but Corey's beacon did revive one of the players of Gapt. I think that helped with their advantage to take the fight back and take control. And then with Moki getting such a large knockout, 3 knockouts in a row, able to secure that point. But it's not over yet with the Vicious trying to get back into it already on the point of starting to turn things around, but Adam has Meteor available and Ash also has Fate of Both Worlds, maybe using it in this fight to turn things around, as there is the Meteor landed on Moki. You get taken out. That is one, but it gets revived immediately back to an even setting between these two teams. Both players with everyone up, but Mimi now finally falls. Double KO for the Magneto, for Adam, but Atlas falls now. Instead, one of the strategists is gone for the Vicious, an important strategist as well, but Moki falls. It is just back and forth here, Liger, and 62% on the point. Gap still have it, but Lumi trying to turn things around on the Venom. Rib taking one, Corey taking another on the Human Torch, doing so much damage from above. 88% on the ultimate, but they don't need any more ultimates as they take the point back.
Ooh, and they take it back in a great fashion right there. Finally getting themselves some percentage on the board. You love to see it. That's how we do it. That was what we want to see. We want to get fired up. We want to get warmed up. We want to see everybody doing it up right here. As we can see, Vicious getting competitive and not letting Gap take it straight to 100%. Eyes on the prize as we see people on the high ground taking a different route of approach. But Rib's there. Rib's in the sky. Rib knows where they're going to go because Rib will do the same too. Always on the flank every time we see Rib. But, of course, Moki here in the front lines trying to get a sneaky pick on Revsy in the back on the Ultron here. You'll love to see it right now, and there it is. There we go. Adam trying to push and hold that corner, hold the staircase. Not fit. Ooh, clean click on Gact right there. You didn't even see that one because I didn't even see it. So how did they all see it? But they saw it, and that's the way you want to see it because I'm saying the word see so much because all we can see is Moki out here on the Punisher, shredding him through. Alice goes down. It's a big executioner shredding forward. Oh, oh my days. Rib caught out with another triple KO coming from Moki on the Punisher. Frank Castle, where you at? That's the way you see it with a buckshot shotgun taking out the Venom, pushing forward. Mimi gets house on Asher, and Revsy's taken out. Ooh, Obscure taking out Lumi. And there it is with the 80% lead for them on the Gap side.
Massive, absolutely massive, especially coming from Moki on the Punisher. I think Punisher is a wonderful choice for Gap, doing a lot of work. Ultimate's coming through already with Magneto. Adam going crazy. Also, here comes the amplifier from Corey. Supernova triggers 3 ultimates on the board. But Adam, despite using the Meteor, gets taken out as Mimi goes crazy on the support of the backline. Sorry, all the strategists are gone from the Vicious. The Vicious are lower in number, despite it being overtime. And Gapped are in control and on point. They will be claiming round 2 in Krakoa.
Ooh, when you watch Mimi on the Iron Fist, it's absolutely kick for KO here today. Absolutely enabled by their entire team. You love to see it. A flip of the script. We're 1-1 here on Krakoa. They've taken the cradle. That's what you love to see right there. Oh, it's exciting. Iron Fist gameplay is some of the most riveting to watch. It is so impactful. It can be so high risk, high reward. And I love that Mimi is out here taking that risk and putting them on show and flipping the script. Right there, Vicious are playing the meta, Ricey. They're playing the meta. But if Gapped have these obscure counter picks that Vicious haven't practiced for, they're going to take them by surprise. Love to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Vicious a bit caught out here by this, I want to say unusual, unseen before composition from Gapped, and it is working. I'm wondering whether or not Gapped is playing their main picks, you know, the comfort picks or something, you know, ones that they're most experienced with, or if it's something they've been cooking up in scrims in particular to take down the Vicious. Whatever they are doing, it is working. They are about to come out here though with 2 ultimates, while the Vicious have none.
Ooh. By what we see, a bit of an obscure play from Obscure, as we see a portal winding up with a Punisher ready to shoot through it. That is exactly a great strategy. And winding up the Mjolnir, Gak goes in, and Mimi's already there. Without even a doubt of it, the roundhouse kick going forward. Gak gets Asher on the sidelines, Ribs in the sky, returning the favor, taking out Moki. That's another one. The Firestorm is going up and up and up and burning it up. As we see, Krakoa, you're feeling the burn, but it doesn't matter because Mimi's there to null the fire. Revsy's there, getting picked off by Mimi. There it is, Obscure, feeling the strange power, blocking out that damage, hitting the Dark Pulse, taking out Lumi. That's another KO in favor of Gap right there. And Quarry taking out Magneto. You love to see that one right there. There it is. They cap it. Gap feel confident. They've taken this point and started up strong going into this match-deciding round.
Very strong indeed. I loved Gap's strategy there, using the portal, taking the Vicious by surprise, using all these very interesting, I love the word you used before, obscure strategies to try and get advantage over the Vicious. But look at the ultimate. There's 5 available for Gap, and 2 of them are being used.
Woo! Wind it up right there. Again, Moki taking them out of the skies. The anti-counter to the Flyers is here. That's Moki on the Punisher. Frank Castle saying none of that. Let me tell you something right here, because it's my domain. And in fact, he's ready to go. The Punisher is ready to go. Rearing again. Adam's going to try and return a bit of fire back to push them onto point. Give the Vicious some room to move. Give them some space. As the Vanguards do, we make space. We do what we do. We push forward. Then we give our team an angle. Rebs is on the sidelines. You do see Hela ready to take to the skies and remind them who is the Lord of Hell right here. As we see the shards flying, but the Lord of Thunder's in the skies first. Dodged out by the Revsy right there, and returns the favor with a dagger straight down to her brother. My goodness, the law accurate moment right there. As we see Lumi as well capping out on Mimi right there. It's a battle of the Mies. Who knows what's going to happen with the boundary going up? Going to enable them so much more than you expect. Obscures in the front line. Lumi pushes forward. There it is right there. Another flying strange. Oh, clapped out and out by the Ultron on the, oh my days. Monkey stick, diabolical stick. That's a double for the Ultron. My goodness, it truly is the age of Ultron chasing the rocket. My goodness, Corey trying to survive, but we do see it potentially flip. Oh my god, wait a minute.
Wow.
Just when you think it's over, Mimi with the final contestation, but it's just not enough. But you got to respect it as Vicious gets some percentage on the board.
The age of Ultron indeed, like the Vicious protected Ultron here very last second and banned out Ultron, ensuring that they are the only ones that can play Ultron on this map. And my goodness, Lumi is taking advantage of that quite intensely. And out goes the Star-Lord trying to go in, 96% on the ultimate, potentially wanting to pop it here to do more damage, but they will back off as they're still on 97%. Strange ultimate and rocket is available for the side of Gaps. It could go crazy here, 81% for them, but 35% and counting for the Vicious.
Ooh, it's about to kick off right here as we can see it happening. Revsy picks off Mimi on the sidelines. Agamotto dropping out. Will it stun anybody? But it doesn't get as much effect as we required it needed to be. Revsy's there taking out Moki on the side. There it is. Face shifting from the Star-Lord. Ribs feeling confident. Flying once, flying twice. Oh, that's a double in favor. Taking a Harbolical and Quarry. Atlas cleans out on Obscure. Ribs on the chase, trying to go for that triple KO. Cleaning house, getting a triple KO on Moki. Running away. 55% in their favor. Ricey, this is the favor they need right here. They're going to be pushing forward. They're going to be going forward. They're going to be feeling confident now that they're actually almost even in percentage to Gap. The question is on everyone's mind, Are they going to win these next 2 fights? Ultimates are currently in their favor with Adam on that Meteor M. What I want to know is who's going to get that ult response on Gap. It's probably going to be Hyrbolical with the boundary, but another portal is up.
Another portal is up, and Gapt is using that very obscure strat of portaling straight onto point with a turret. Doesn't find anyone just yet, but as you mentioned, the ultimates are in favor of the Vicious, but out comes the boundary from Gapt. And Meteor down goes down and it takes down to Moki. Hyrbolical, Mimi, Gapt. Everyone is falling from Gapt. While there is a revive on Hyrbolical, it does absolutely nothing. The Vicious still in control, 97%. They are looking to take this first map. Overtime has been triggered. Hyrbolical is touching, but can they do anything as Hyrbolical gets taken out? Immediately, Judge Jury being used, but Moki gets taken out. It is the Vicious walking away with map 1 on Krakoa.
Woo! What a stellar performance from the Vicious, just when you thought they may have lost their momentum after Gapt, of course, got that second round momentum. They took it back, they regrouped, they got on the Hela, they started snapping them, getting it done. I do believe, you know, that moment against the Thor was a very big turning point. But Rib on the Star-Lord, diving in without even any hesitation or fear. We saw it earlier, the phase shift in the backline. Absolutely just so good right there. And there it is, round 1 goes to Vicious. You love to see a stellar performance, a good comeback, and when we thought they may have lost their momentum, and there it is right there ultimately. And we love to see the MVP, of course, going to Rib, well deserved, and SVP to Moki. You love to see it. Big damage coming from both of them, 20k plus each. You love to see that accuracy, top of the line for the great strategists out here. And again, a little bit of a notice, Mimi's Iron Fist. Things to take note. You love to see it, honestly. But what I want to know, going forward, what's
Again.
whether it's obscure, it's strange, it's gacked. There are so many adjectives on this lobby. I don't know what else there is. All I know is Ribs making me hungry. That's what I know. I'm hungry for some ribs. What I'm more hungry for.
Dinner time in Australia at the moment, so
it is true.
not surprised.
So everybody,
we're a little bit
honestly, I tell you what, I hope everybody's sitting down, watching this amazing Marvel Rivals Ignite gameplay as we're heading to Yggdrasil Path. Hope you're having a nice dinner, having a nice drink, and enjoying the show today. Of course, hydrate or dihydrate. We're trying to have a good time here. Make sure you drink your water and watch these amazing gamers here play their hearts out, going into the battle. The question on everyone's mind, who's going to take this map? Is it going to be another 2-0 of Vicious? Or are Gap going to flip the script? And Obscure's hitting the symbiote boogie as we cut to the action.
We love it. We love to see it. I mean, I've got that emote. I think everybody loves that emote, so no surprises there, but they are not sticking on the Venom. That was just putting on a show for us as they are now, the Gats are coming out of the spawn, pushing quite far and aggressively. Gax trying to make room for the team to keep pushing, as well as the Great Rolls going up. And they are successfully taking control of this first section of the convoy.
Ooh, smart play. Oh, Revsy again. Oh, it's clinical at this point. Revsy taking a high ball of them. Wow. The clean double KO. The start of the triple into Gap. We just begun. My goodness. We aren't even here. We're not even ready. And it's still quadra KO for Revsy on the Hela. What the hell? Oh, my days.
That was very impressive, Revsy, with a quad opening this map up in such a strong fashion. Gaps trying to come back to the convoy. They are able to start contesting it, but I'm sure they're very scared of Revsy. Though Revsy is only at 53% on the old charge. On the other hand, Hyrbolica is sitting at 80%, as well as Atlas. Those invisible women are about to have their... But wait, Lumi is the first one with the... Eye of Agamotto doesn't quite catch on to too many people as Rib down goes in and takes down Mimi falls. And it's going to be a battle of these amazing heroes as Adam takes down Obscure. Here comes the first barrier. Both barriers being used by both teams to keep all their players, all their teams alive as best as they can. All the ultimates are finally coming online, and the Vicious still in control of the GOAT of Yggdrasil.
There it is right there. Lumi holding it down on the front lines with the Doctor Strange v Doctor Strange battle, but a Meteor cleans it. Oh, it barely misses. Oh my days. What a lucky day for the Lunar Snow. That is Quarry right there. Dodging that Meteor just by the fleet footwork, and the footwork leads into a Dancing with the Stars. That's right. The fate of both worlds is here as we get into the action. As we can see, the goats are moving. They're chugging along, and a bit of Hawkeye action going into Atlas right there, keeping the sustain, keeping the strategic presence right there into a strangling prison from Obscure into an Agamotto, and the done now. Does it lead to anything? We see Mimi punching twice, punching thrice, going for one, going for two, hitting bags, going for it. There it is. And we see Hypolical pushing forward, keeping the team sustained as we do. Ooh, big pull taking out Adam. Oh, big clean KO from the Invisible Woman right there, taking out Lumi. There's the presence there. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Are they going to get a bit of a fight in the sky? But Mimi don't care how hot you are because Mimi's feet are there to absolutely send you down to earth. That is the way it is as we are sustaining them and probably going to take this first section.
I believe that was a 5-player Agamotto from Lumi, but despite that, Mimi went absolutely hard on the Iron Fist, keeping the rest of the team in the game in this round, and they're able to cap and push those goats through to the next stage. But Gap now trying to push forward with 3 minutes 30 seconds on the clock. We have one boundary available in the hands of Hypolic, but Atlas also now has it too. It's going to be the battle of the Invisible Women's boundaries coming up soon, but Lumi has to escape, getting a little bit low on the Doctor Strange. Now they're still pushing around the corner. The goats are moving, but Hella, Revsy on ultimate, going down, raining from the sky. Boundaries being used by Hypolic to keep the team alive during that ultimate. Atlas still has hands on theirs, and out comes now their boundary to try and keep the Vicious alive this time. Lots of ultimates being used, but Atlas is the first one to get a pick onto Gak. Gap is losing one, now losing two as Mimi falls. Hypolical falls as well. Gap now with a disadvantage have to fall back.
Ooh, clean double KO from Lumi on the Strange, diving in more than a Strange should, but definitely getting the value, feeling confident, knowing they can go forward, knowing that as well as going forward, you're going to see Atlas there right by their side. This Invisible Woman right here, Atlas is just frontlining. It's crazy. You'll have to see it. Someone on Gap has to punish that, but another Agamotto goes out, stunning them out of here. Atlas catches Moki on the sidelines with them, trying to sustain that with a bit of a, yes, of course, there it is. Corey hits the fate of the both rolls. Keep him sustained. Another Agamotto drops on the other side from Gak this time. It doesn't connect with many right there. Not going to get the value they perceive. Revsy does get gacked on the sidelines. Rip takes out Obscure. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 from Gap. Taken down by the Vicious right there. Rip feeling confident on the high ground. And that Kraken Impact. Oh, it's ready for this next team fight.
Yes, the Kraken Impact is ready in the hands of Rib of Vicious. In that fight we just had, we had Gax use Eye of Agamotto and yet didn't really hit on many people. But out comes Moki's never miss ultimate, trying to find anyone, trying to hit as many as possible. But Lumi is the one that takes the first pick in this fight. Mimi falling down, Moki not able to get much value out of the Hawkeye ultimate. Now Rib, as you mentioned, does have the Kraken, hasn't needed to pop it yet. Gaps does have control of the point, and Groot is now holding everybody down. Rib falls by the hands of Moki. Out comes a bounty from Atlas to try and keep everybody alive from the Vicious, but they have now lost one of their players. Revsy does have the ultimate event, but doesn't need it. Taking down Gax in a clean fight, but Asher, one of the strategists of Gap's foes, and so does Atlas from Vicious. Gaps is pushing forward, winning this fight, and finally, the GOATs have made halfway through this second round.
We push all the way to
That's right, the goats are moving, they're schmoving, they're feeling confident right there. We see Moki on the high, on the low, trying to get through that gap right there as they would, representing their name, trying to go in there. The question is, can Obscure hold them down, feeling confident with the group, setting up that ironwood wall on the ceiling right there. If they walk in, they're going to feel that burn, they're going to feel that damage, they're going to feel the thorns. The question is right now, as they're rotating around the backside, are they aware of it? Into an instant Kraken Impact from Rib, taking out one, instant KO on Moki. There it is, that's another one. There it is, and Lumi chasing Quarry in the corner. The gap is taken out by Rip, hitting the reset. Double Dark Pulse from Doctor Strange. That is Lumi, the Sorcerer Supreme. You love to see it as they're delivering it. 2 meters, 3 meters, 1 meter left, and it's probably going to be not their favor. That's right, because they do hold it back. It isn't going to make it to that second point. 3 seconds left. Do Gap have what it takes to make it in the last second? I don't think they do, and it times out barely at the second mark.
That was such an insane, intense fight between these two teams. We nearly reached overtime, but yes, Gaps was not able to touch to get back. Wait, no, yeah, I'm getting lost a little bit, but that was an amazing fight coming through to be able to stop them in that just before that second point.
And I'll tell you what, on top of that, we're going to see something switch up here. I believe Lumi might be hovering that penny and Alice might be on that rocket. We're going to finally see that rocket power team up. Hopefully, this is a great team up. It is actually very excellent on this map as well. There's a lot of corridors, a lot of flanks they want to cover, especially there. That flank from the Vicious actually shut down so much. It did so much there. It changed the tide. We thought Gapped were going to make it. We thought we were going to go into the third section of Yggdrasil Path. But at the moment, it didn't happen. That clean animation cancel from Bucky going into that insane Kraken impact. You love to see it. A little constant knowledge of their hero right there. They know the little things. They figured it out. They're playing at the highest level there is in OCE at Marvel Rivals Ignite. That's why we're here today, everybody hanging out, everybody enjoying the show. We're going to wind it up as we start up into a flip of the script as Vicious are now going to have their turn at going forward and attacking and pushing the GOATs directly to victory.
I just love we can make so many puns about that, Liger. You know, are we talking about the GOATs of Yggdrasil, or are we talking about the GOATs of the two teams? Now, Gapped here have control of the point already. They're playing very aggressively, nearly in spawn, as Moki takes down Luby immediately. Is that a Jeff?
Oh? Is that a Moon Knight? Hold on. It's a happy day. We see Jeff and Moon Knight. We're not playing meta anymore. We're playing... Never mind. The Jeff's gone. We got our hopes up.
The bait and switch.
I would say I'm sad, but I'm having such a good time because right now they're going hard. They're going forward. Obscure gets the one, taken out. Rip KO in the clearhouse. Magnia's feeling the burn, feeling the thorns, feeling the pressure. Moki's on the back, hitting the shots, going for it, going for cash, trying to take him down. Not feeling the pressure right there. Ooh, KO. Rev Z getting caught out by Moki. We've normally seen Rev Z land those clean shots. It looks like Moki's like, hey, how about you take one back? It's my time to shine. That's the way you want to see it, as we're going to see them hold this stalemate barely outside of the spawn. My goodness.
Yeah, they are definitely holding them at spawn right now. Gapped, especially Moki, though, he's getting extremely low. Will be able to survive and get back into safety, but Moki putting out a lot of work, taking a lot of those ticks. Now, as you mentioned, you saw that on Revzy. Revzy now switching to Punisher Atlas with the boundary, able to take down Obscure. That is the Vanguard of Gapped. Taken out, which does mean the Vicious have a little bit more room to push up forward, especially with that boundary. Hybolic's boundary, my bad. But Lumi and Revzy still pushing forward and taking out two more. And the Vicious are slowly pushing forward with still lots of ultimates in their hand and at their disposal.
Just when you think the Agamotto was enough, it wasn't. But at the end of the day, it was a clean choice. It managed to shut down that push from that defense from the insane performance there from Gact. However, Gact does now have the Agamotto coming online, as well as Mimi with the Khonshu's call. That's right. Why do we call it that? Because Khonshu's about to throw hands as they're in the portal. They're on the high ground. The question is, they're going to get absolutely torn up right now as the Gru hits the slam, combining them. Prison has been there, and Revzy gets the 1, 2, 3 triple KO into a potential quadruple, but they're hiding in spawn. The portal, the spawn, it doesn't matter. They need to run out. The portal times out, and it's going to be Vicious pushing forward. Probably going to take this unless Gapped have the speed. Ooh, doesn't look like someone can make it. No, and that's not theirs. But for now, let's see how they move forward into the second section.
Second point coming up here. Gact is the only one at the moment with an ultimate for the side of Gapt, and Hydraulic now getting their boundary. Both boundaries are available. Very important ultimates. These boundaries to keep the rest of the team alive. I would say sometimes a fight-defining ultimates, but Luby getting a little bit low, still able to stay alive with all the strategies. Musical coming out from Adam, not able to hit someone, but Obscure does fall. I am going to be used. I believe getting a few with Asher being able to take down Gact as well. Boundary, both of them being used by both teams, keeping everyone alive. Out comes another Iron Agamotto, getting only Mimi, but Revzy taking advantage of that and going absolutely hard. 3 triple KO for Revzy.
Revzy absolutely gunning them down, starting off taking out the Agamotto-ing Doctor Strange. It didn't even matter. Nobody was there. Why? Because Adam was charging up a meteor, pushing their team back. Couldn't even get there to help their Doctor Strange pay off on that Agamotto. But is that a portal blocking the... Yes, it is. A portal is blocking the tunnel. The portal is blocking the tunnel. They only have one choice, one path to make it for this contest. But the Executioner is there, shredding them down. Gax getting taken down. There's a KO. The Punisher's feeling strong. Takes out the Venom, trying to make it to point. There's only barely any few meters left. Lumi takes on Mimi. Mimi's feeling confident right now, but it's not going to be shut down as we see Groki trying to start them down, but it's not going to be the 3, 2, 1 meters, and they're down and out as the Vicious take Yggdrasil.
They take Yggdrasil, but not only do they take Yggdrasil, they do take this entire match. It is a best of 3, and they have taken two of them. First map and now here on Yggdrasil. And they looked good while doing so. MVP does go to Atlas. And well, we did see Atlas making a lot of playing game-changing ultimates with those invisible boundaries.
Ooh, clean victory. 2-0 again in the books. Vicious right now, definitely feeling like they're number one in this division, in this group, in these 8 teams playing in Marvel Rivals Ignite. You got to see it, you got to love it. Look at the performance, look at the stats, look at the, oh my days, the KDA, the knockouts, the downs, the assists. You love to see it. Now, my question on the board